Hello guys and welcome to my first ever blacksmithing video on the channel. Today I will show you a detailed, very simple way to make a lot of gold with blacksmithing. I will show you what specialization is best to use. I will show you the best add-ons. All the crafting that we're going to talk about today is region-wide. I will show you which add-ons is needed and how they can improve your gold making a lot. I will also show you how to use them. Guys, make sure you watch all the way to the end so you learn every detail on how to make gold with blacksmithing. Also, I will be showing you all the best recipes to craft to maximize your profits. And please subscribe to the channel. I have a goal of reaching 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and that is impossible without your help. But let's go ahead with the video. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do in blacksmithing is actually leveling it up a bit and doing all of your first craft that you get from the trainer. This will give you a lot of knowledge points, and blacksmithing is actually requiring quite some knowledge points. After you have done that, you should go on a journey and collect all the one-time treasures that is out in the world. I have a weak aura that I got from someone that is really good. It shows you all the knowledge points you currently haven't gotten this current week. I will be linking that, of course, in the top of the description, so you can just import that and it will work for your profession. What you can do is simply left click on what you're missing and it will show an arrow on the map where you have to go to collect it. However, that only works with the treasures that is out in the world. Otherwise, it will just leave you with a text here with a little bit of information how you can go and get it. So that is the first step to maximize your knowledge points that you have in the beginning. After that, I would recommend you to go and get your equipment, preferably the rare blue ones at top quality. You should never be making any tools right now that isn't top quality, so make sure you make it quality 5. You will have to use quality 3 reagents and find someone in trade chat to make it for you. The hard part is actually acquiring the artisan's acuity that you need for the tools. I have a video on that on my channel, so we're not going to go through that today, but you need some artisan security to be able to get your blue tools. Of course, prioritize the actual tool and then go for the accessories. You are going to want a multi-craft tool enchanted with resourcefulness for this build. Blacksmithing is offering quite some patron orders every day, and you can gather some artisan security by doing them every day. So you will eventually get enough to buy the blue ones, probably in a couple of days, so it's not that hard. After you have gotten your blue tools, and hopefully you have done all the first crafts that you can get from your trainer, the next step would be to start filling out your knowledge points in the current build that we need. So what we're going to focus on in this build is not gear crafting. We are going to focus in on crafting alloys and also stonework. So we're going to craft the weapon stones and the profession stones here. They are really good and they sell really good as well. Also, we are going to focus on the framework. They are also really good and sell fairly well too. To be able to craft those with any kind of profit, you will need the correct specialization. If you don't have the correct specialization, you won't be making any profit. So what you're going to want to do first when going with this build is you're going to want to go to Ever-Burning Forge. This spec is allowing you to use a buff called Ever-Burning Ignition. When you use this, you will get multi-craft and resourcefulness. Also ingenuity, but that is useless for now. But you're going to get a lot of multicraft and resourcefulness. Everyone that is using blacksmithing is using this buff, so it is mandatory to see any kind of green numbers. So what you're gonna wanna do first with all your knowledge points is filling out the Ever-Burning Forge spec like I have here. You're gonna wanna go 40 in Ever-Burning Forge, 20 in Discerning Discipline, and 20 in Gracious Forging. So this gives you multicraft, this gives you resourcefulness, and this gives you everything. So this is what is absolutely mandatory to be able to see any kind of green numbers on the alloys. After you have done this, you're gonna wanna go to means of production. This requires quite some knowledge points, as you can see. So this is not what you're going to be able to get like in the first day. This is going to take a little bit, but you will gradually get here. So I would go and put 10 points into means of production, which will allow you to open the Fortunate Forges. This node is actually very important because this is the only node here that will actually be able to give you any kind of multi-craft on the alloys and frameworks. So basically you're going to want to fill out this one to 30 points. So you get the maximum amount of stats that you need for crafting basic alloys and basic frameworks. So after you have filled this one into 30, you have a decision to make. It doesn't matter at all because you're eventually going to get everything that we get here. Okay, so you can go for frameworks that will give you skill in frameworks. You can go for alloys that will give you skill in alloys. Or you can keep on going with means of production and go into stonework. What you will get when you go into stonework is you will learn some new recipes here, the Iron Claw Whetstone and the Iron Claw Razor Stone, and this is really good things to craft. It's up to you if you want to go back here maybe and go down to the stonework, or if you're gonna want to continue into the alloys and to the frameworks. But this is the specialization that I have, and that is the only one that is going to impact this build. This is the best specialization, and you're gonna want to get to this point sometime. After doing it, you're pretty much good to go. Start making gold with blacksmithing. I will recommend you guys to go and get the file of quick hands. It gives you a lot of crafting speed. It says it's only working for Dragon Isle recipes, but it works for the War Within as well. Also, if you want, you can go and get the Weaver's buff in Ashkahet that you get from the pact, the Weaver pact, which also gives you a lot of crafting speed. It is important if you're gonna want to be able to make gold quicker because you are going to mass craft here. But let's talk about the add-ons that you actually need to start crafting. You are going to need the best add-on there currently is in retail World of Warcraft. It's called CraftSim. It's outstanding. It's the best add-on. I highly recommend it. You will not be able to do crafting without it unless you do a lot of manual calculation, because I don't know if there is any other add-on that actually takes your profession stats into account when calculating for profits. So you need CraftSim, so that's why it is so huge and so OP. It also offers a lot of other things that we're going to talk about soon. But so what you're going to want to do is download CraftSim if you don't have it. You also need a price source add-on, so I highly recommend you to get either Auctionator or TSM or both. I use mainly TSM but Auctionator as well. So if you want, you can pause the video and download the add-ons if you don't have them. The next step is going to be to type /CraftSim or go into CraftSim options. You're going to need on the general tab, if you use TSM, you should have this on TSM. If you only use Auctionator, you should put this on Auctionator. This is really, really important. If you use TSM, you should head to the TSM tab up here, and you will see this price strings here. I use this price string. You can use the default one. It is very good. The default one is really, really good, but you can use this one if you want. But if you use this one that I have here, you need to have both Auctionator and TSM, because this is a combined price string that will look at Auctionator scan and TSM scan. So the next thing you're going to want to do, if you use Auctionator in any way, is go to Auction House, press the Auctionator tab and do a full scan. It's going to take a little bit, it maybe takes a minute, I'm not sure. But this will get you all updated prices on everything from the Auction House. Okay, so the scan is done and we now have all prices updated and CraftSim is working fine. So what you're going to want to do is head to CraftSim. If you don't have the newest version, it can look in some other way. So I recommend you go and update it if you already had it before. You press this thing up here to the left, the CraftSim tab. You're going to want to tick the average profit, because otherwise you won't be able to see the actual average profit per craft. This is so important. Just toggle that. Then the other thing that I like to use is the recipe scan. I think this too is like the most powerful things to use with this add-on. If this looks scary, don't be afraid. It's going to look very, very simple and overpowered soon. Before we can do this, we of course need to apply our ever-burning ignition, because this is going to give us the most important stats. So go to the forge and use the ever-burning ignition. Now you will get a buff for 10 minutes. It will give you a lot of stats, which is really, really, really good. Now you're going to see a lot of more profitable recipes. If you did it without it, it's not going to include the stats. Then it's not going to show you profitable crafts. So now what you can do is just check. I use relative profit as the sort option. It's like based on percentage. So that's what you're gonna want to use in most cases, I feel like. I use auto select top profit quality that you find on the cogwheel beside the scan. I also use optimize finishing reagents, because then it will tell you if you need to use any finishing reagent when doing the craft to maximize your profit. So that is basically the only settings in here I use. I don't have any settings set here. Okay, then we can press scan. So after we have pressed scan, you're going to see a list of items like this. It might look a little bit messy if you're not used to it, but it is awesome. So basically, it's showing you the recipe, what rank you're going to craft. So in the first case here, a rank 3 iron claw razor stone, and how much profit you will make on average each craft. This one is really good right now, and the Forge framework as well. If you don't have the full specialization, you're not going to be able to do all the rank 3 crafts. Then you will see the rank 2 crafts. But you see the sanctified alloy here, 214 gold per craft, doing this at rank 2 with optimized mats. When you hover, you see what mat is optimized. So you see here, like I should use one rank 1 core alloy to make it cheaper. And I should also use the finishing reagent down there that gives us multi-craft. That's how you can see like what you need to craft a recipe. What you can do next is basically if you left click one of this, it goes immediately to the recipe and you can start crafting it. So after you have done this scan, you're pretty much done. You can just start crafting pretty much, because now you have a list of all profitable items, which is amazing and so easy. So that is basically the only things you need to do. Now you can just start crafting and make a ton of gold. One little reminder, guys, don't forget to always have the ever-burning ignition buff on, otherwise you are not going to make profit. So make sure that you have that toggled on. It's really, really, really important. One little extra tip, guys, craft a small amount at the start, even if you see a lot of good numbers, and ramp up your production so you don't overcraft and you're left with a bunch of stock that you can't sell off before the prices drop. So craft small and ramp up as you go. I hope this video taught you something. I hope you learned how to make gold with blacksmithing. It is actually really simple when you get it explained in a easy way. I hope I have done that today. Please subscribe to the channel so I can reach my 4K goal. Leave a like on the video and let me know if there is anything you need help with and I will assist you. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.